Welcome class to Recipe Reviews 101, where we teach you how to look at a recipe and understand what's going on with it. Today we're going to be talking about easy tarragon chicken from TheColorful.net. So grab yourself a pen, paper, I'm not sure what else you should grab. So grab yourself a pen, paper, and your favorite free-range chicken, because I'm Professor Kitchen, and class is in session. Welcome back, class. Today we're going to be talking about a recipe I found. Actually, I found it on Google+, but I couldn't find what the user's name was to link to them, and they have their own webpage, it looks like, called TheColorful.net that their profile linked me back to. So we're going to just link to that down in the description box below. You can go check it out. They have a lot of stuff out there, actually. So go ahead and take a look at that if that's something you're interested in. And let's get down to what we're talking about here. We've got easy tarragon chicken. It says the cooking time is 15 minutes and the preparation time is 30 minutes. So this isn't too long. Should take you less than an hour to get this on the table. Okay, ingredients. For the chicken, you need about 50 grams of butter. I find it interesting that they're weighing a lot of stuff that we over here in the States would just go by volume. We'd say a tablespoon of butter or something like that, but they're going by weight. And weight is a really good way of making sure you have an exact amount. 50 grams is 50 grams every time. So we got 50 grams of butter. We got 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I don't know why they didn't weigh that one, but they didn't. Then 1.3 kilograms of free-range chicken jointed or chicken pieces. If you're using imperial measurements, that is about 2.8 pounds. I'd round up to 3. Then it says 1 to 2 small onions or shallots, finely sliced. Then 120 milliliters of a dry white wine. That's going to be about half a cup. And then several sprigs of tarragon. Now we're going to make a gravy. For the gravy, you're going to need 20 grams of butter. No wonder this tastes good. There's all this butter in it. A handful of freshly chopped mixed herbs such as parsley, tarragon, sorrel, chavril, dill. Give you some examples there. I would definitely, since there's already tarragon in the chicken, I would make sure and have at least some tarragon in the gravy as well, just so the flavors tend to blend. You don't want a clash of flavors between the two. And this is 1 lavage loaf, 1 shoot each of thyme and winter savory. They say that's optional. And then 175 milliliters of double cream, which, first of all, that's 3/4 of a cup. And the closest thing we have here in the States to double cream is heavy cream. It's not quite the same thing, but is the closest thing we have. So go with heavy cream on this one. All right, so let's put it all together. What are the directions? It says heat the oven to 230 degrees Celsius if you have a fan oven, or the 210 Celsius or Mark 8 on a gas oven. Here in the States, you're probably going to have just a regular, even if it's a gas oven, you're going to be at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Melt the butter with the oil in a cast iron casserole dish. I don't have a cast iron casserole dish. I got a cast iron pan. You could use a cast iron pan. I've just never heard of a cast iron casserole dish. That's a new one on me. Then brown the chicken on all sides. Awesome. Using butter and oil, browning your chicken, crispy chicken, very tasty. Towards the end of the browning, add the onions, wine, and tarragon. Okay, so you're getting your chicken browned up first, and then you're going to add your onions. Go ahead and get them cooking. Tarragon to flavor it, and the wine is going to help deglaze the bottom of the pan, get all those yummy, chunky bits of chicken and butter that have stuck to the bottom and kind of burnt on there. Those are tons of flavor, and they're using that white wine to get that off. It says cover and roast for 30 minutes or until a thermometer inserted into the thickest part of the breast registers at 75 degrees Celsius, that's 165 degrees Fahrenheit, or the juices run clear. Transfer the chicken pieces to a serving dish and set aside to rest. So the chicken is pretty straightforward. You're just cooking in a cast iron pan to get it a sear on it. Put a little wine in there to deglaze it, throw it in the oven, and let it finish cooking. So I like the way they're doing that, getting the flavor on the outside and then finishing the oven. Finishing in the oven is a really great way of doing most meats, especially if they have a bone in them. Meanwhile, make the gravy. Pour the pan of chicken juice on the hob. I don't know what a hob is. So you're taking your cast iron casserole dish or skillet, pulling the chicken out of it, letting that sit there and rest, and then you're going to take and put that back on the stove. Then it says remove the tarragon springs, add the butter, and then stir in the herbs. So you're taking out your sprigs of tarragon and you're adding the herbs in. So that means in your herb list, she mentions tarragon again, but you've already got tarragon flavoring in the juices from the chicken that you're using to make the gravy. So you might be careful adding more tarragon in. Take back what I said about that.
Liar! Liar!
Get back, witch!
I'm not a witch, I'm your wife.
Because if you get too much, if you add more tarragon, you may have just huge tarragon flavor, and you really want to add some stuff that would complement the tarragon. Stir in the herbs, mixing well. Remove from the heat. If using the double cream, slowly stir in until combined. Pour the gravy over the chicken and serve. So there, if you're going to make it creamy, go ahead and add the heavy cream or double cream, whatever you have around your area, into the pan after you remove it from the heat. Make sure you remove that from the heat first, especially it being cast iron. That thing's going to hold a lot of heat into it. And if you have it on the stove while you're pouring the cream in there, you could curdle the cream like that. You don't want to burn your cream. Then you pour the gravy over the chicken and serve. This is a pretty straightforward recipe. You just got some basic, great chicken cooking techniques where you're using a nice hot cast iron to sear the chicken and then throwing that in the oven to finish it. After that's done, take your juices from that and make a very simple gravy. You can make it a cream gravy if you want to, or just take and add your extra spices to it. This does sound tasty if you like tarragon especially, and if you like chicken, which I like both. So I might have to try this one too. If you try it, please let me know what you think of it down in the comment section below. Also, if you have a recipe that you'd like me to review for you, please let me know that in the comment section below. Thank you all for coming today. Hope you have a great week. God bless. Class dismissed.